letting them.
You know what I saw last night, man? The Braves had Outkast night, and they had the Outkast bobbleheads to the first 15,000 fans that came there. And
Big boy did the commentary.
Big Boy did the commentary, and he threw the first pitch out there. And I love to see Atlanta doing those things. And whoever was in charge of doing that with the Braves, I think that was awesome. Also
Now,
saw that Andre 3000 was in Japan playing the flute.
I knew you was gonna do this. I knew we weren't gonna, Mike.
But you might not.
Seen it. I was wondering because I was like, man, Mike ain't said nothing about it. I'm not gonna say nothing because Mike, you know who you are by now. No.
You may be surprised at my take on this.
You are and what you've been doing.
You may be surprised at my take on this, man. Like, we all wish that we could do what Andre's doing right now. Like, in a hectic world where people gotta, get from point A to B, get home to their families, this and that. This man is able to basically travel the world and play his flute, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of live however he wants to live. Like, he's truly free. I love that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that after seeing that, I was like, man, I really wish we all should aspire to get to that point one day. He doesn't give a fuck. I like it. And the only thing I don't like is how he may leave Big Boy hanging sometimes. But other than that, he's free.
Mike, you get on my goddamn nerves sometimes, and I'm going to tell you why. Of all the times that you've gotten on this man that maybe you shouldn't have, Mike, I'm here to tell you this is one of the times you're actually supposed to be on his ass. What kind of funky ride is this? Let me take you on a funky ride. Mike. No, I'm not about to let you do this.
I would have loved to have seen him at the Braves game,
Mike,
but do we really expect him to be there at this point?
Mike, at this point, this group is retired.
Oh, yeah. They've been.
No, that's what I'm about to say. No, Mike, this group is retired. I don't know if you've noticed, but mostly when it comes to sports, Mike, we're more known about the women we provide to the athletes when they come into the city than we are for the damn sports. You got dudes that's coming down here literally just to smash our girls. I don't know how else to say it, and the girls be letting them. And we got one viable winning sports franchise. And that one viable winning sports franchise decides that they want to celebrate our most celebrated group.
Yeah.
Group. None of that menu said Big Boy stuff. It said Outkast stuff. They're retired, Mike. Mike, I don't know if you noticed. We're in our 40s now. That means them niggas approaching 50.
Do you think?
Don't you? No, Mike, I'm not finished. That since we propped them up to this level in this city, that at some point, Mike, and I ain't talking about no goddamn concert, that this man will maybe get off of that path and come back and receive some of the flowers and adulation that afforded him that ability to go play the flute in Japan at the drop of a dime. Would he like to come home sometime and maybe receive those honors? Because here's the thing about it. Him doing stuff like this is keeping Big Boy from getting some of the things he deserves.
It's true.
And that's my problem with it, because truthfully, this group is retired. And this shit, think about it, Mike. If the Braves is doing this, not being funny, it's like, well, black people don't watch the Braves like that down here or like around the country. Well, the Hawks and the Falcons ain't going to do it because Andre don't want to be involved. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of promoters and a lot of events in the city. Well, Andre, they want Outkast, Mike, and about Big Boy and about what Big Boy's done for him as far as holding Outkast down.
Yep.
Always holding this name up high. Never heard this guy say one thing sideways about Dre. Ever.
Big Boy is the greatest partner ever.
He's the greatest partner ever. You can't bring your ass home to an Atlanta Braves game and do commentary with Big Boy and soak all. Do you know how big that would be, Mike? So no, I'm not okay with him playing the flute in Japan. I tell you what, after you and Big Boy get done with your promo, go take your ass to Atlanta Hartsfield Airport. Go down to the train area where we all get on and load. That's the biggest airport in the world.
Yeah, go to E and F.
When you get done at Truist Park, you can go down to Atlanta Hartsfield. You can go down to the train. I usually used to get on train number 2 because it drops you off usually right by the elevators when you're getting off. A little inside information. You can go play your flute up and down there as much as you want to after the Braves game is over. How about that?
Well, you brought
Why
up
can't we compromise?
You brought up some interesting points, right? And I want to piggyback on them. First of all, do the Braves do this night if Big Boy doesn't confirm that he's going to show up, right? Like, I don't think they do. So the fact that Big Boy's holding it down for the brand and allowing this night to happen by, utilizing or giving them his time, giving the fans his time, I think that's a big thing, and he's doing it for the both of them. Now, the other part of this is the fact that I know I was really campaigning very hard for them to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and get on the ballot, but maybe some trepidation that the Academy has, for lack of a better term, is the fact that Andrè might not show up. He might not show up if they get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, Mike, I'm not being funny. Like, they're getting older. Like, how about this? Not being funny, Mike. We didn't get the opportunity to give Tribe their proper flowers.
Yeah.
Fife died on us. Like, stop playing these games.
Well, that's
for real. No. Life is precious. No. Tribe didn't really get their full flowers. Fife died, Mike.
No. And I remember when Andrè was at Fife's memorial and he said that there were talks of a Tribe and Outkast album coming together, and he said, I don't know why it didn't happen. It didn't happen for some reason or something. It's like, Dre, we know the reason it didn't happen, man. Don't do that. Because more than likely...
No, he did not do that.
More than likely, Fife and Big Boy were clearly down. And more than likely, the person who came to you with this was Q-Tip. More than likely. I don't know. But it's like, yeah, for some reason it didn't happen. I was like, really, Dre? Some reason? CJ Kidd with the super chat says, I think they meant Nate Dogg for the hooks. Nate Dogg is greater than Method Man with the hooks. Oh, okay. Okay. Jay Short with the super chat says, are you saying that All Eyes on Me is the top 10? Are you saying that Method Man has a better hooks than Nate Dogg?
I'm telling you both of those things.
Ooh, I'm rolling with Nate Dogg on this one. Frank Wizard with the super chat says, Nate Dogg kills them hooks. You about to have my Death Row Wu-Tang battle, Mike? Yeah.
About to see how much Nate's funky ass hooks matter, Mike.
I'm with it. I'm excited about it. Frank Wizard with the super chat says, Nate Dogg kills them hooks too. He's Death Row, right? He is. His album came out on Death Row.
Taking these L's.
And the features that he put out there were on Death Row albums.
Not ready for my Shaolin style, Mike.
I can use Regulate if I want, right? That was on the Death Row album.
Love of the Rim is on the Death Row conglomerate. So, yes, Pour Out a Little Liquor, Afro Puffs, Regulate. What else is on there that's gangster? Those are the records.
Those are the records. Jay Short with the super chat says, congrats to Andrè for graduating hip-hop culture. I hope that he enjoys his quote-unquote freedom in Japan outside of ATL. That sounded very facetious coming from Jay Short.
Very petty.
Jay Short says, don't fool yourself, Mike. Andrè is showing up for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He ain't that free. I didn't want to say it, but
that's true too.
This is the thing. If he shows up for that and doesn't show up for the Braves Outkast night, that's not a good look. Not a good look. Shout out to Big Boy for being there, though. Again, carrying the banner for not only Outkast, but the Dungeon family as a collective. People don't understand how important that is. It has to be somebody to, to keep the flag going. If you don't, your legacy kind of dies off. And we've even seen Outkast's legacy die off in the, the next generation because of inactivity. You know who we really saw that with? The Fugees. And happy birthday to Lauryn Hill. It's her birthday today. But the Fugees' legacy, I literally watched totally take a nosedive over the years because of inactivity. People don't even really mention the Fugees as they should because of that. And that's unfortunate because I think me personally, Fugees are one of my favorite groups.
How, Mike? With what material?
I mean, when they came out, they were one of my favorite groups. You know what I mean? Like, it's that whole thing where it's like when the score came out, I'm like, yo, these niggas is different. But then nothing else came out, and like you said, he just kept dropping.
Right, that's 96.
You
and it's
have
only
to
about
be...
7, Mike, and in all respect to it, but I always felt this way. When everybody loved the album, it was almost like, to me, here's my thing with the score. It's one of those albums that lets you know that hip-hop can stretch borders and boundaries.
Yep.
But as a rap album, it's only got about 7 rap songs.
No, that's real. But they were stretching boundaries that really hadn't been, stretched at that point. So it was new. And we kind of overlooked those things. LP with the super chat says, bet you 3,000 would play the Flute at the Met Gala before the Braves versus Mets game. Gotta stop acting like he ain't chase that mainstream love and leave hip-hop. The fans are speaking out. Let's see. The real Leonard Washington with super chat. I don't see a message here. Appreciate the super chat, Leonard.
Yeah, celebrate the first super chat from the real Leonard Washington. Leonard Washington's the first super chat. I thought Leonard back. Maybe Leonard was gone and now he's back. I feel like Leonard has super chatted us before. He's been such a presence on the show. Oh, he said Coop done. He said in the super chat he meant to say Coop done bumped his hip hop head, disrespecting Nate Dogg's hook game.
I think Nate Dogg's hook game was up. Yeah.
You want to know what, Mike? I love Nate Dogg's hook game. When I was thinking of hook game, I was thinking about MCs. Nate Dogg is not an MC, but he does belong to the Death Row conglomerate that I'm about to tap dance on, Mike. I would like to make this versus a 25 song versus, since we both have so much material to go through.
25. Okay, let's do it. We can do it. I'm cool with that.
I want to whoop that ass the right way, Mike.
I don't know. I think you're kind of trying to trick me when it comes to the 25 because I don't have a whole lot of albums to choose from. You do.
Oh, Mike, but the albums that you have to choose from, though, Mike.
I don't have a whole lot to choose from. I think 25 could be to my detriment. Let me think about that.
Mike, you got All Eyes on Me, Book 1, 2, and Machiavelli. You got The Dog Food, Murder Was the Case, Above the Rim, Doggy Style, The Chronic. That's 9 albums, Mike. I think you got 25 classic songs in there. I think you might be tripping just a little bit. You know that whole dog? You remember Dog Food, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Shout out to the Dog Pound.
Mike, West Coast don't even make albums like that anymore, including Kendrick. Like, how about this? I'm a big Schoolboy Q. You know how I feel about Q. I don't think Q has one album better than Dog Food. You think one of Q's albums better than Dog Food?
Who?
Q, Schoolboy.
Oh, I thought you said Cube. I was like, what?
Dog Food, there ain't no question about that. Q got something better than Dog Food?
That's a good question.
Right. Dog Food like that. You got stuff.
Yeah. Dog Food's like that.
Because Dog Food might be the least notarized album in the catalog.
Exactly. No, for real.
Stuff.
It is. CJ Kidd with a super chat says, need evidence for meth over Nate Dogg comment, Coop.
I have evidence. It's called Cream. Next.
Cream is pretty, yeah.
You're talking about what the evidence? Cream. Ice cream. Next.
No. I'm saying Cream is pretty tough.
So is Ice Cream. Nate Dogg got 2 hooks better than Cream and Ice Cream?
What is Nate Dogg's best hit?
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Regulate? Ain't no hook in there.
Ain't no hook. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, these nuts ain't a hook. It's a bridge. I can't be faded. That's a bridge. It's not a hook.
A lot of Nate Dogg's big hook work came after Death Row. Yeah. No, it's real.
Hate to be the one to break it to you. Explosive? That ain't no hook. Oh, that's another bridge.
No. Explosive ain't a part of the Death Row catalog either.
Oh, that's Aftermath. It is.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Next episode. Oh, yeah, Mike, you're going down.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going down.
Yeah, I don't have those records to pull from.
You're going to be playing a lot of Tupac. I'm going to tell you now, you're going to be playing a lot of Tupac. Not winning. Better thug life it out, Mike. Wu-Tang forever.
Before we get out of here, man, I want to shout out to Orenike. She gave me a great interview yesterday, actually. We aired it yesterday. She's they're putting on the Rappers Delight 50 Years of Hip Hop Festival. That's actually going to be brought to you by the National Black Arts Festival. So they're basically taking on the hip hop aesthetic as their art piece for this festival, right? They normally do art festivals and Hip Hop 50, and they're looking at everything in the culture as a full out art piece. So each era, they're gonna celebrate all 50 years musically, all kind of DJs on that. So check out the interview that I did with her. She actually goes in length. They're gonna have a lot of music and technological you know, pieces that they're pulling together, and it's just going to be an all-out party. And I think that next week, that's why we're going to continue to party with our block party as well. But yeah, that's going to be from 8 to 12, June 10th, here in Atlanta, Georgia, over there on West Side Paper. But yeah, that's just going to be really dope. I'm looking forward to it. We're actually going to post up over there too, and get some exclusive trivia games out to our folks. So we're kind of planning some of those things, give people some details as that's coming up. So y'all get 2 weekends of Mike and Coop if you want.
Mike, you will. It's going to be a little back-to-back Mike D and Coop in locations and venues that are identifiable in the city of Atlanta to show that we exist in the city of Atlanta together. I really don't like...
we out here this summer.
Haters are in the chat trying to give you song help, Mike. It's Death Row. It's Death Row, you busters. He don't need no song help. We all know the song.
I think we all know the stuff.
Damn crazy.
Like, I'll take all the help y'all can get.
Yeah, because Mike don't know about Deep Cover and What's My Name. He just missing those records.
Wait a minute. Does Deep Cover count? Is Deep Cover on Death Row?
I would look and see, Mike. I mean, you'd be a fool not to use Deep Cover if it's available to you.
I mean, if it's available, I'm using it, but I don't know if it is. I want to be fair here.
No, you need to be fair, but I mean, I'm pretty certain the Deep Cover might be part of the Death Row catalog. Okay. Check and see, Mike.
Okay, I'm going to check and see. Jay Short with the super chat.
I'll tell you what, Mike, this is going to be the best battle yet, actually.
It will be. This is going to be fun. Y'all thought the Nas and Jay features was fun. This is going to be real fun.
It's going to be fun, Mike, because it's like I'm thinking of some of the stuff you're going to play because it's a whole style thing, too, because stylistically, it's going to be such a clash. It's like, what are you going to do when I play Brooklyn Zoo? Like, what are you
Well, see, listen, I remember when we did the Patreon and you had Wu-Tang and I had Dungeon Family and I got smoked. So I understand the aesthetic that Wu-Tang comes with. I'm going to have to come with some monster records.
Yeah.
Period.
Like, how about this? Like...
I can't even play the favorites. I got to come with monsters.
Mike, you can fuck around and play them album records for Death Row if you want to.
I'm not doing that. Because you're going to go to Into the 36. You're going to go to the Purple Tape. And this is pretty much going to be an Into the 36 Purple Tape versus the Chronic and Doggy Style. And everything else is sprinkled in.
Mike, want to know what we're really about to find out? We're about to find out how good a couple of albums are, because I think we know what the Chronic and Doggy Style are, and we know what Into the Wu-Tang and the Purple Tape are. But Mike, Dog Food, for one, on your side. Listen to what I'm about to say, Mike. Iron Man on my side.
Mm-hmm.
About to know what those two albums sound like. And for you, Mike, and listen to what I'm about to say. Well, Mike, you got All Eyes on Me. I got Supreme Clientele and Liquid Swords. That's really what it comes down to. No, really. It's like, it's Supreme Clientele and Liquid Swords, Better Than All Eyes on Me, and Dog Food.
Yeah, you're forgetting about Machiavelli. That is on Death Row, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I got Iron Man. That's why I'm saying, no. It's not Purple Tape and Into the Wu-Tang that I'm about to see how classic it is. About to see how classic the Ghost shit is. So Supreme and Iron Man. And see how Liquid Swords really holds outside of shadow boxing, Mike. You feel me? That's real.
Jay Short with the super chat says, would you rather have gotten a third proper album from the Fugees, Far Side, or Diggable Planets? The Fugees, easy.
I would have rather got that fifth Outkast rap album. Don't care about them third albums. Where's my Outkast album, nigga? I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Zone 6, East Side.
We're not going to get another Outkast album.
Goddamn Diggable.
Dre didn't even show up to the Braves game that was honoring him. He was in Japan playing the flute. Ain't no more Outkast album.
Damn Diggable Planets album number 3. Blowout Cone Part 2 ass niggas.
I love Diggable Planet.
I'm fucking around. I'm just talking shit.
CJ Kidd with the super.
Mike, I would want the Fugees album, Mike, because it's Wyclef. I would want the Fugees album with a caveat, Mike, like within 5 years of after the score being released.
Well, I mean, what we got after that was the Carnival and the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So, yes, I want that third Fugees album.
Yeah, right. Because I mean,
Like,
if the
god damn.
the third Fugees album sounds like Lauren's album, it sounds like the Carnival. Give me that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think. And see, at that point, after the Carnival and Miseducation, I think the Fugees' legacy got bumped up even more because we know that those are solo efforts, but we attributed that to the refugee camp. And then when they just stopped, their whole legacy just nosedived as a group. Now, Lauren is Lauren, you know what I mean? She's a little different, but everybody else involved, it's like you have to stay active. CJ Kid with the super chat says, "Ain't no fun and same hoe greater than the Method Man hooks." Talking about.
First of all, Madman, I'll have you know that I'm a big Speech fan. I actually met Speech. He's a very, very nice brother.
Yeah, Speech is great. You ready to get up out of here? We got a couple more super chats before we leave. Reggie with the super chat says, "Mike Coop, can you get Kennedy and Shortbread to do a hook on the next A2HH freestyle?" Sure. I guess I can't speak for them. We'll ask. I mean, we're gonna get them to come to the block party if that's good.
I'm about to say, since you're so concerned about it, why don't you buy a ticket? Come to the block party. I'm sure they'll be there because we're inviting them, and you can politic with those lovely young ladies yourself, my brother.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything, right?
Hold on 1 second. My mama said knock you out. 31%. Mr. Smith, 34%. Bigger and Deafer, 18%. Radio, 17%.
This is the problem, Coop. Because many people would tell you that the historic significance of Bigger and Deafer and radio trump all of those things, but the fact that we have albums
said knock you out and Mr. Smith, they are. He's a better artist, and I agree. Because
no,
my two favorite albums
that.
are Mama Said Knock You Out and Mr. Smith. Albums, not songs, albums.
The problem is, though, these came in the 90s, right? And like I said, LL is missing that knockout 90s classic album. I think that's why he's not in these conversations with a lot of people, because these are the ones they remember. Like you said, you know, it's like, let's just say Bigger and Deafer in an updated fashion had the impact that it had then, and it was updated as a 90s album and came out in the 90s. I think the whole conversation would be different. You know what I'm saying? Because really, radio and Bigger and Deafer, it's not Long Live the King. It's not Paid in Full. It's not Criminal Minded.
It's definitely not The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick.
It's not. Great albums, but no.
You know, here's the thing about it. You want to know what it is, and this is what I mean about timing. LL's timing is a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
The blessing is that he's the first guy there.
Yep.
The curse is what happens right after he arrives.
Exactly. Yep. No, I agree with you 100%.
So you're dealing, think about this. A teenager is having to pivot his whole style 2 to 3 years into his style. He doesn't even have his whole style yet.
Exactly.
Understand, this 15-year-old, by the time he is 17, 18 years old, the game is fucking different.
Exactly. And you know what? We got to give LL crazy props for being able to last that, because that shit took out Run DMC. As great of a group as they are, these are an all-time great group, but that style change took them out of the game.
Houdini.
Yeah. It took them out.
Yeah.
It took them out. These guys are legends.
Rakim, Kane, and KRS took them dudes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It changed everything.
How dudes rapping now? Can't rap like that no more.
And we got to give LL props for even sticking around. You know what I'm saying? Because when Rakim and KRS came, everything that came before him was gone.
You want to know what, too, Mike? And people don't understand this. He actually just did what we watched Ja Rule do.
Mm-hmm.
He looked around at the lane and was like, "Oh no, look at Nas and Jay and DMX. I'm going over here. What would I be without you?"
You remember when Ja Rule used to get compared to DMX? You remember those days?
All the time, Mike.
Mm-hmm. And he carved his own lane, and he did what was right.
But that's what that's a page out of LL's book, Mike, because hearing Rakim and Kane and all that, you notice a lot of that hard stuff that he's kicking on 85 and 87 albums, Mike. That's where the switch up happens, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He like, "Oh, I can't kick this shit no more." Look, you hear what, KRS-One out here talking about not my 9mm goes bang. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this last point before we get out of here. Do you think that LL adapting, which is why he was able to last so long, do you think him adapting actually dimmed his light throughout decades?
It did, but it gave him his survival, Mike, because
Yeah.
that's how we got. Listen to what I'm saying. If you really want to think about his big records, Mike, not the hip hop records, because the hip hop records are radio. I'm bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Mike, but when he started making Jingling Baby,
Yep.
going back to Cali, I Need Love. What are the songs that he's remembered for now? You feel me?
Yeah.
They're actually the songs that he was actually like, oh, this nigga L sweet with it.
You're
But
right.
those are the records that took him and held him. And so it's like, no. But by the time Mama Said Knock You Out is coming around, see, now it's been 5 years. Now the 15-year-old man is 20, and now he can rap with these guys. And you hear it on Mama Said Knock You Out. It just took some time. And by 95 with Mr. Smith, when the guy is, 25.
You know, what an incredible career. And I
Uncle
wish.
L while he's in his 20s, Mike. Imagine that. Imagine being called Unc and you in your 20s in the game.
Exactly. You know, and it's like, what an incredible career. And no one really talks to him about his process. And no one talks to him about the artistic side of it. And like you said, having to adjust, having to adapt. I've seen a million LL interviews, and I don't think they've ever addressed those things. But props to him. But I do want to know what that
Right.
mental state is like when you have to adapt and
Like-
to the game.
KRS-One and Kane and G-Rap and all those guys, they made LL stop kicking battle raps and become a songwriter.
Yeah.
He became a songwriter because of it, because he knew, he's like, oh no, Mike, I can imagine somebody that came out in 85, hearing Rakim in 88, terrifying.
But he still kept the battle close to him. And he was ready to battle whenever. And he proved that in different eras too.
He wasn't going to battle any of those guys and win at their peak, but yeah.
I truly believe, and I could be wrong, that No Omega sounds like, LL's getting some bars. But I don't know, man. Rakim was kind of giving it to everybody at that point. But nobody wants to
work. Right? You don't want to rap. You don't want to rap against 1990, 91 Rakim. You don't want to do that.
I'm telling you, nobody, period, wants to battle Rakim in his prime. Nobody in the history of rap. I believe that.
Stupid.
I believe that. He hadn't been in a full-out battle,
Mike,
but I believe that.
Prom Kane and KRS had a shot, but it's like, no, I wouldn't do it, though.
No, man. Where he was taking the lyric. If that song...
you know where I'm putting my money.
If, not Don't Sweat the Technique, but you know what I'm talking about. Let the Rhythm Hit Him. If Let the Rhythm Hit Him is about Kane, I understand why there was no response. That nigga's going crazy on there. Now, if that's a warning shot record... Jesus. If that's your charged up, man.
Mike, if those are warning shots, don't ever shoot at me. Those are warning shots. Don't shoot at me.
I mean, because, what really gets me is on that video when the dude with the flat top is dancing like Kane on the stage and Rakim and them come and snatch him off the stage. I'm like, oh, man.
Disrespect is real.
Man. Oh, man. All right, and on that note, we're getting out of here, man. Y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy your holiday. And, yeah, man, we're going to holler at y'all next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.